Howdy there champs, it is CES 2022 and if you're into laptops, make sure you subscribe. I've got so many awesome laptops to go through. In this video I'm going to talk about what Alienware had to offer, and they had some beast laptops. And Alienware are doing something that is actually blowing my mind. First of all, yes, there is this new 14-inch laptop, but before I get into that, they are making an all AMD laptop and an all Intel laptop. Yes, that's right. AMD CPU, AMD GPU, Intel CPU, Intel GPU. Just let that sink in. Yes, you can get the more traditional stuff, which we'll go through, which has an Intel CPU and an Nvidia GPU. But I never expected an all Intel and all AMD. With the Intel, you know it's 12th generation CPU, but what GPU is it going to get and how fast is the GPU going to be? With the AMD, they actually didn't give us any specs on the AMD or the Intel, but I've actually gone to hot hardware here, and they basically said with the AMD version, you're getting, up to a 6980HX. There you can see the CPUs there, and I believe that's the AMD motherboard, and you can also get up to a 6850M XT. So that's the 12GB Radeon. So you got the 6700M and the big boy here. So I can't wait to see both of those. I actually want to know right now in the comments, what would you go for? All Intel, all AMD, or the normal Intel and Nvidia? And why? I suspect most people will just go for the fastest one. But this 14-inch right here, the world's thinnest 14-inch, and they're not joking, all right? It's the world's thinnest 14-inch gaming laptop, and it supports Nvidia G-Sync and Advanced Optimus. And actually all their laptops are Advanced Optimus now. And if you don't know what Advanced Optimus is, it's basically where you can switch the laptop into discrete mode, which gives you more gaming performance. And you can do that in the software without having to restart. Because the reality is, if I've got a gaming laptop, I leave it in hybrid mode, even if it has a MUX switch, because I couldn't be stuffed restarting. Advanced Optimus, you don't have to restart. So this laptop here, have a look how thin it is, right? 14.5 millimeters. That is actually thinner than a lot of Ultrabooks. That is just mind-blowing. I think this laptop is here to compete with the G14. You can screenshot this, have a read yourself. But the key specs here is 85-watt GPU up to RTX 3060. So it's not going to compete with, say, the Razer Blade 14. But it does look very competitive compared to the G14. Of course, the latest Intel CPUs, 12900H. And one thing here, what you can see is 130-watt power supply. So that's basically the XPS power supply. So it is Type-C. It's a Type-C gaming laptop. I can't recall of any other ones being Type-C. But anyway, 80-watt-hour battery, so hopefully we'll have good battery life. 400 nits brightness with that. We have full HD displays, 144 Hz, 7 millisecond response. So that doesn't seem too fast, but of course it's got the G-Sync and Advanced Optimus. It's going to use liquid metal. It's going to be premium Alienware, as you'd expect. Aluminium, magnesium, up to 32 gigs, DDR5, up to 2 terabytes. It doesn't say PCI Express 4 or anything like that, so who knows. It does say M.2, so you will be able to upgrade those. Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, Wi-Fi 6, and of course Thunderbolt HDMI 2.1. This is the connectivity you want, so it looks like an ultra portable gaming on the go. It looks like a really good laptop. Now the X15 R2 is just a refresh, of course, and take a screenshot of the specs if you like as well. But basically, of course, we're going to get Intel 12th generation CPUs, so up to a 12900H. Now down the bottom there, that is a placeholder. Of course, it's going to have RTX 3070 Ti and 3080 Ti, 240 watt power supply. So that will tell you what sort of performance to expect. So 240 watts isn't that much, so I don't expect anything over sort of 100 watts there with the GPU. And of course all the rest is sort of the same. Of course, new display options. All the Alienwares are G-Sync and Advanced Optimus, so that is just excellent. Now that is the benchmark. You have to have that now. Up to 240 Hz 1440p, that's the one I'm going with. Wi-Fi 6E, Ethernet, up to 32 gigs, soldered in, DDR5, 2 M.2s it looks like. Yeah, it's the same as the last model. But this thing here, the X17, now this thing looks like an absolute beast. I'll tell you why. Yes, it is a refresh. All the good stuff, okay? We have a 4K 120Hz display, so that is amazing. Of course, all of them, G-Sync and Advanced Optimus, WARF. We know it's going to have Intel 12th generation, but this is the HK variant, so you'll be able to undervolt overclock this thing, and it's going to have 3070 Ti, 3080 Ti. Now everybody now is saying how much watts? Well, I think it's going to be a ton of watts, because here, 330 watt power supply. You ain't going to put a 330 watt power supply on something that's not going to be using, like these are going to be at least 165, 175 sort of watts with the 3080 Ti. So this thing looks like an absolute monster. 87 watt hour battery. It's basically the same as the last one, of course updated with DDR5, two M.2s there, Wi-Fi 6E, everything checks out here. We have HDMI 2.1 and we have, Thunderbolt as well. So everything you want there with these Alienware laptops. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with what they've done this year at CES. And man, I still can't get over this all AMD and all Intel Alienware. That thing really intrigues me, especially the Intel. We know where the AMD is going to sit. They're going to be thereabouts, right? Maybe even better in some respects. But they're all Intel Alienware. I have no idea what to expect. So anyway, catch you in the next one. Stay tuned. Make sure you sub up. I've got a lot more CES videos to come. And until next time, tally ho.